I am in the process of taking a yellowjacket sting. Now, a lot of people at this point would be freaking out.
So, how you guys doing? Chris Ignato here, and you're watching Nature Now. And I happen to be here with Harrison and Evan Black.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, the Wildlife Brothers. If you've seen my last video, you know these guys are a blast. I have a lot of fun with them, and we've been wanting to get together all summer.
Yes, we have.
So, we finally got together, and it's pretty much the end of the summer. And today, we're going to be having another adventure on herping.
It's going to be awesome.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we'll see some good stuff.
Yeah, let's
now,
do it.
They have a lot to live up to, because the last time we got together, at the very beginning, right, they found a northern ringneck snake. So,
First
you know.
flip, too.
Yeah,
We'll see if we can recreate that magic today.
However, you know, today is off to a good start. As soon as I met up with them, they had 2 Nerodia, and on top of that, right, a bald eagle came soaring by just above the creek.
Incredible.
If you guys know, and I'm sure you do, that's a good omen. That means a lot. So let's hope the rest of the day is just awesome.
Let's do it. All right.
Awesome. Cool. Before we even met up, I'm in the field of goldenrod, and Evan and Harrison call me, and look what they happen to have.
Got some northern water snakes here today.
Very
Super excited.
Yeah,
and they're doing some education with a lot of the kids who are enjoying the park today.
Really mild-mannered too.
Yeah, very, very calm. They didn't even musk on us, which is excellent. Means our hands won't smell bad for the rest of the day.
Yeah, seriously. And I bet that can actually warn other snakes and stuff. They smell the musk. They're like, oh, hey, something's up here. So that's pretty cool. So do you guys want to release them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's give that a try.
Sure thing. Right. Always important to release them right back where you found them. So actually this guy I found right here by the plants. So, we're going to let him go. Got a shot of that? Yep, got him. There he goes. And then this guy,
there you go.
Little POV for all the herpers out there. This one goes out to Frederick Beck. See you later, bud. Dang. And away they go.
Cool.
And away they go. And away they go. Away they go.
So far we found some northern two-line salamanders, and we're in the process of actually capturing one at the moment. They're slippery little fellas.
Here you. Oh, he's getting into the current, just like last time. The most important part of salamander hunting, guys, is you want to be really, really gentle. Even though you might have the tendency to want to grab onto him, there we go. If you can just get him into your hands like this and use that kind of conveyor motion, you're not squeezing them. Now, as we know, salamanders can drop their tails. That's an ability called caudal autonomy. And that's actually not going to kill him because the tail will grow back in a couple months to a year, but it does leave him a lot more vulnerable to a predator, something like a bird coming in trying to eat him. And it also is where they store a lot of their fat. So if they lose that tail coming onto autumn, that will actually cause them a lot of problems as they're starting to slow down their metabolism and get ready for winter.
So why do they drop their tail in the first place?
It's actually a defense mechanism. So say, for example, I was a big great blue heron and I wanted a quick snack. So I'd grab this guy by his tail, which is about half of the body length of this animal, so it seems like a good target. But once that bird latches on, he can actually drop that whole tail off, mostly as a defense mechanism. You saw he tried to go for a leap of faith there, but there he is. That's your northern two-line salamander. Beautiful coloration for this time of year.
Yeah, so then it distracts the predator because it's got this little wriggly tail in its mouth, because the tail will continue to wiggle as it's detached. And
there
at the same time, they have a bit of a snack too, so.
And there's your release, guys. Right in here. Oh, he's gone. Good stuff. Nope. Oh, no.
Another northern two-line.
Right, I have a green right here. Go ahead.
Harrison has.
Oh, missed him. Got him.
You got him?
Barely. Got him. Queen frog. Nice.
You got a green?
Changed my mind 3 times about what he was. Wait until you see the coloration of this guy. I think it's a green. Lithobates clamitans. Yep. Just the green. Wow. All right.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
You can see why I originally called him a pickerel frog. because as we know, pickerel frogs have those spots on him, but this is just a particularly dark green frog, as I said, Lithobates clamitans. Beautiful little guy. Now he is a small one for the species. I expect we'll be seeing a lot of small amphibians. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I think that the pickerels we'll be finding will probably be about that size or a little smaller.
Yeah. Now it's these little frogs that need to build up their energy, as we've been talking about throughout the video, before autumn hits and food becomes a little more scarce. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be
I say
tricky.
little, but I'll try and get my hand up there to show you guys. She is a big,
Oops.
big spider. Check this out. Go big. Beautiful. Hey, little one. Now, based on her size, I think she's a female. Cool. So that's 4 species. If you count the wolf spider. Is he telling you to subscribe to Chris Ignato Nature Now on YouTube?
Yeah, it's like, you know, I don't really like your channel. You gotta let me go. Now, look at here. You see these two? Sorry, little guy. I'm gonna just hold them like this. See these 2 larger warts behind the eye?
Yeah.
Those are the parotoid or parotid glands. Now, those are filled with a neurotoxin. And if you just squeeze them ever so slightly, all this white mucus comes out.
Good catch.
Thanks. And if that gets into a predator's mouth, it can cause burning and frothing, dizziness, and sometimes even death. You never know what's going to happen. If you have a pet dog or something, sometimes it doesn't faze them at all, and other times it does.
Wow.
But amazing species.
Absolutely.
There is one creature found in Pennsylvania, a herp, that really loves to specialize on toads. Do you know what that is?
That's the garter snake.
I was thinking the hognose snake.
Oh, yeah.
They actually have a spine in their throat coming off their vertebrae that's used to pierce them, because when these get swallowed, they don't just rely on their parotoid glands, they also will puff up their bodies, as this one's doing a little bit, which makes it more difficult to swallow. And the hognose snake has a mechanism that basically deflates that balloon.
That's awesome.
Not for the toad, though. So we're gonna let this little guy go. Pretty sure it's a male.
Blends in perfectly.
Yeah,
Look at
it does.
that. Awesome.
Evan here.
Yep. Sometimes hard to tell us apart.
Yeah,
but
I just
no
gotta
worries
make
about
sure.
that. We dressed differently today, just for you, Chris.
Oh, thank you. Found himself an American toad.
And now I'm going to eat the toad.
There you go.
So you definitely
We'll
don't
have
want
to-
to eat the toad. Yep.
A first-hand demonstration on what those parotoid glands do.
That's right. See right behind the eyes there, you have 2 little upraised sacs. They kind of look like warts, as Chris said earlier. And that's where he stores all of his poison. So you always want to make sure that if you ever handle a toad, they are safe to handle by people. But you want to make sure you wash your hands right before and right after you handle these guys.
That reminds me. By the way, we're out today looking for herps, right?
We are.
A lot of onurans we're hoping to find, you know, different frog species
Right.
and stuff. You got to keep in mind when you're catching things like, say, salamanders, spotted salamanders, frogs, pickerel frogs, in between handling each species, we have to rinse our hands off because
Absolutely.
they do have the toxins, and those toxins do affect each other. Like the pickerel frog, its toxin actually burns and harms the green frogs.
Yeah.
So we have to wash our hands in between handling specimens. So when you're out there trying to rescue them on road crossings, you're doing a great thing, but you got to keep in mind, if you're mixing various species in the same container or bucket, sometimes you're actually causing them a little bit of physical pain. So, you know, with a lot of care and compassion also comes responsibility.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, on to the next thing.
So, as you guys can see, I am in the process of taking a yellowjacket sting. Now, this is something that would scare a lot of people, but luckily, I'm going to be just fine. I've been stung by yellowjackets before. I know I have no adverse reaction to their venom. Come here. You're okay. Now, he does not mean any harm. I got in his way. This is my fault. every step of the way here. Now I'm going to gently remove his body. If you ever encounter this scenario, this is not something you guys have to be afraid of. The venom of the yellowjacket is not lethal. There we go.
Oh, that's the second time this year.
So
that's
now,
just weird because
this guy is unfortunately going to pass away. His stinger is embedded in my leg. You can see that's his entrails there. Now the stinger is just a modified ovipositor.
it's a female.
Yep, hi.
Only females can sting.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You didn't mean it.
Now that's strange. That happened to me this year too. First time in my life I had one stinger get stuck in me.
Now that typically doesn't happen, guys.
No.
So that is a wasp, a vespid wasp species. So the thing about the yellowjacket, it's a type of paper wasp, or burrowing wasp actually, I'm sorry. And typically wasps do not lose their stingers when they sting. Now they are, as I mentioned, an ovipositor, which is basically what the females use to deposit their eggs. That is just a modified version, and that actually will inject a very mild venom. But typically, with your vespid wasps, they don't have the barbs that honeybees do, and they're famous for one sting and then they pass away. That's typically not true of wasps, but in this instance, that female has unfortunately perished, which is very bizarre. Chris, you said you had that happen to you.
Yeah, just recently, and actually, that's why she was still on your leg.
Right.
It's because she couldn't actually remove her stinger. Usually they just kind of dive bomb you and take off.
Right. It's quite a shame. She's been following us all day. I'm not really sure why, but we love vespid wasps. They're really an animal that we want you guys to love as well.
Exactly.
So even though I have a sting, you'll see I'll have a little welt, and that'll go away in 24 hours, and we'll all move on.
Yep.
Just be careful out there exploring, and remember, if you're in a situation with a wasp, don't panic. You're gonna be fine. All right, let me wash my hands. You want a shot of a 2-line for your video, or do you have one already?
No, let me get a shot. Do you want a shot of this, or do you want the 2-line?
Oh! I wish I had that on film.
So, we found a pickerel frog. And that's actually a type of, the group of frogs this belongs to are grass frogs. You know, you have brook frogs and stuff like that. They're all pretty much the same. But these pickerel frogs love to spend a lot of their time in grass and meadows next to water with a high humidity content. I love me some pickerel frogs. They have those beautiful, you know, organized spots on their backs and a nice bronzy coppery sheen in between the spots.
And they've really been giving us the slip today, huh, Chris?
Oh yeah. Yeah, these have been a really difficult species for us to catch.
The first one, actually, this was your catch. But this is the first one we've really gotten up close for the cameras today, so I'm glad we have him.
Yeah, what is this, like the sixth or seventh one?
At least the 6th, yeah. It's been a great day of herping, but every time something new happens, and in this case, it's been a big chase after the pickerel frogs.
Yeah, and you know what? I believe they're a diurnal species,
They are a diurnal species, yep. So a lot of the species, like the American bullfrog, is much more active at night. So if you guys ever go out on a warm summer evening, or even especially in the spring, you'll hear things like spring peepers, wood frogs in March, bullfrogs throughout the summer. But your pickerel frog is going to be an animal that you're going to be able to find all through the summer and during the day as well. So it's a great species to find while we're out here herping.
Great. Let's give them some water. It's a male. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Oh, no, I did talk about it.
Yeah, let's get him some water, yeah?
Yeah. Oh,
Whoa, okay.
There we go.
Well, he turned...
Wait, actually, touch his rear quarters, and that'll be our closing of that frog. Good one.
Awesome. All right.
So what just happened, Chris?
Well, I can clap this way, or I can just shake my foot.
Hey, there you go. Little round of applause for the herping today.
Yeah. So I'm either going to pull this sole completely off, because, I mean, you know, that's a hazard. Or, I actually keep my knife on me all the time since 2004. I keep electrical tape around it for repairs and God knows what, especially for camera gear and stuff. I might be able to wrap that around my boot and keep the sole on.
That might be worth a try.
Yeah. So, I hope this works.
Very resourceful too.
Yeah, ingenuity is super important when you're out here, guys. It's actually very slippery today, as Chris just demonstrated. So whenever you're out here exploring on these slippery rocks, I mean, take a look at this. This is all dark gray, slippery stuff covered in mosses. So So you always want to be careful when you're out here exploring.
Yeah. And that's actually one of my favorite things about bushcraft and survival skills. There's two reasons I got into that stuff. One, I believe if you're into nature really, you should have some nature skills. Two, I love being ingenuitive. I love inventing solutions and ideas to things. And the best test of that is survival and bushcraft. There are so many things I do that, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And let me tell you, bushcraft and survival gives you a lot of inventions.
Now you have videos about bushcraft on your channel, correct?
Yes, I do. And I'm going to be putting a lot more up there. I just have to actually get out and do the stuff. Thank you.
And there's the shoe, all ready to go. Now we can continue exploring.
Good to go. By the way, please stop by the Wildlife Brothers channel to see the rest of this adventure, or more like it. I'll include a link in the description below, or you could just click on the card. Okay, well, that pretty much, I guess, concludes our day.
Yeah.
They got to head towards work. But we did find some pretty good herps today. I mean, our species count was 8, right?
Yeah, I believe so. We got the water snake, couple frogs, actually a great amphibian diversity today.
Yeah, what kind did we actually come across?
We came across the pickerel frog after a lot of failed attempts at catching them.
Yeah. We got some green frogs, American toads.
Yeah, and we got the two-line salamander as well.
Right. Two-line salamander, a dusky, which I only filmed for a second, the 2 water snakes.
Yep, that was great.
And some great invertebrates as well. We got a wolf spider, we got yellowjacket, all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, so it was a pretty cool day, especially considering the fact that we were doing this stuff for less than 2 hours.
Correct. Yep.
So, and most of that time was eaten up trying to get ourselves a pickerel frog.
Right.
Yep. So once again, thanks a lot for watching, guys. It was a lot of fun. I really love hanging out with you two.
Always a pleasure, Chris.
Yeah, had a great time. So I'm Chris Ignato, and
we're the Wildlife Brothers.
Yep. Signing out. I always have a great time hanging out with those two. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm actually thinking about calling the collab videos with the Wildlife Brothers Herp Hunters. I've got some good ideas for that one. Anyways, please, if you like this video, stay tuned for upcoming collab videos with the Wildlife Brothers in the future. And remember, if you like this video, be sure to check out this video over here that YouTube has selected specifically for you based on your watch time. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, but you gotta click the bell icon, because if you don't, YouTube will never let you know when a new video of mine comes out. And remember, passion inspires spirit.